So we are going to look at these expressions, and I think it might help if we think about perimeter and connect the two things together. So perimeter, as you know, is the distance around any shape. So if you have a rectangle and you wanted to get the distance around the outside of this shape, you would start in like one corner. Say we'll put a little spider there to say where we started. So you would go along, and that's 7. Then you add the 4, and you've got here. Along here is obviously 7 because it's a rectangle, so you add another 7. Got here. To get back to the start, you add another 4. And that will give us the perimeter. Now, because these are numbers and we can add them all together, we do add them all together and we get 22 centimetres. Now, you'll see later on that we won't be able to add them to make a single number, but we can make it shorter. But the important thing I really want you to watch carefully is the working out. The working out is what's going to help us with this thing, the expressions. So to work out the perimeter, you add the 4 sides together. So it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be a rectangle all the time. And you'll notice also that these are not the exact size. That's not 7 centimetres, that's not 4 centimetres, it's just sketches. And you wouldn't normally draw something the exact size unless you're actually asked to do so. So we're going to have a look at this triangle. We'll start in this top corner. So we'll move down the slanted side, that's 26. We'll go along the bottom, that's add 24. And back up to where we started is add 10. So we have added the 3 sides together to find the perimeter. And again, they are numbers and we can add them together. 26 and 24 is 50. Add another 10 is 60. And you notice this time the unit was meters. Okay? So we know this already. We know how to find perimeter, and that's just a little bit of revision. If, however, we have a rectangle that has letters around it and we're asked to write the perimeter, it's the same process. We are going to add together the 4 sides. So we'll go along the top, that's B. Go down the side, that's A. Go along the bottom, that's add another B. Go back to the start, that's add another A. Now that in itself is an expression, and that is halfway to the answer. But what you can do, if you think about these as maybe apples and bananas, you have one banana here, another banana here, so you have 2 bananas. You have 1 apple here, another apple here, so you have 2 apples. And they're not the same thing. Bananas are not the same as apples, so you can't put these 2 together. That is the answer. 2B plus 2A. And if you go back to the picture, you have a B here and a B here, which is your 2B, and you have an A here and an A here, which is your 2A. This is the actual answer. 2A plus 2B. It's called an expression, and what it is expressing is the perimeter. We don't know what B and A are, and later on in a question they might tell you that. But for now, if you're asked to write what is called an expression, this is what you write down. It's like a little shorthand version of what the perimeter is. And you can only use the information you're given. You're only given that this is A and this is B. All right? Let's look at another one. So here we have another rectangle. Along the top is 4A. Down the side is 3A. And you'll notice those are the same letter. So that's going to help us at the end. Along the bottom is another 4A. Up the side is another 3A. So that's halfway there. And if this is all you can do, that would be a good start today. But what you should realize is you can make this a little bit shorter because these are all the same letter. So you can say I have 4 apples and 3 apples is 7 apples. Add another 4 apples is 11 apples. Add another 3 apples is 14 apples altogether. And the shortest way to write that is 14a. And that is the expression for this perimeter here. So remember, algebra is all about writing things as short as you can. That's the purpose of algebra, really. And if you're asked for an expression for this rectangle, it's 14a. This is also an expression, but it's not as short as you can make it. It's only halfway there, really. Okay, I have probably chosen a bad letter here. I've chosen the letter M. I'm just going to change that to Y, because you might have thought that was meters. Okay, so we're going to find the perimeter of this. So along the top, we have 11Y. Remember, I changed it to Y. Down the side, we have 2y. Along the bottom, 11y. And up the side, 2y. So you've gone right around the shape, adding each side. So you can't leave the letter off. It's really important, because this is not centimeters or millimeters or whatever. We don't know what y is. So because it is all the same letter as was up here, we can add all of these together to get one thing. So we have 11 of them, and 2 of them makes 13y, and another 11 makes 24y, and a 2y makes 26y. And that is the answer, 26y. Okay? So, I'm going to go back to another example where I have 2 different letters, but it's just a different shape. So, we can start any corner we like. We'll start in this corner. And we go up the slanted side, and that's 12G. Down this side is 5G. Along the bottom is 2H. And we have added the 3 sides together. We're just going to try and make it shorter to make it neater. So we can add these 2 together because these are the same letter. Okay, so 12G and 5G makes 17G. And we still have the 2H. It is part of the answer. And that's how you write it. You don't try and squash them together anymore. You must put a plus sign in between because they're added together and they're 2 different letters. Okay. So that's the answer to that. So it's a very short worksheet today. Just try it, see if you can make sense of it, and we'll do more of this next week.